Hi, this is Dan with Invest Rent to Own. Thanks so much for watching me today. We're glad that you tuned in where we're here to talk about the best hard money lenders. Now, I use hard money lenders for a lot of reasons, and I'm actually going to start out with some of the reasons why you want to have a hard money lender in your pocket. I've been investing for well over 20 years and haven't used much of hard money up until recently, but I found that it's really exploded my ability to do more and more houses faster, and even better in some ways. So thought I'd start out with a little bit of why a hard money lender is someone you want on your team. First off, Streamline Qualification. Depending on what your income stream is, I've been using mostly government-backed mortgages, and they want to see a good income stream. And I've been on W-2 income for a long time, but just in this last couple years, I'm on my own, and those lenders aren't looking at me the same as they were before, saying they want to see that W-2 income. And so a hard money lender doesn't do that. They look at asset-based lending instead of income-based lending. Income-based meaning, hey, you got to have like 40% debt to income kind of ratios, or don't have too much that you're lending against, or too many properties. Maximum 4 properties, maximum 10 properties. These are all limiting things that are for the bank's interest, not for your interest. More recently, there's a lot more lenders that are interested in focusing on single-family investors, and that's a great thing for us. So one thing is a Streamline Qualification. I used to spend hours upon hours just filling out applications and getting them all the documentation, and then the underwriters would have something that they'd ask for, and I'd have to write 10, 15 letters explaining this deposit or that deposit, so on and so forth. None of that at all happens with a hard money lender. And they do want some initial things, but it's much more streamlined. And so less time wasted is more time spent doing better things. You also will typically have accelerated closing timelines. These lenders know that speed is worth value in closing real estate transactions. So they will typically be able to close transactions sometimes in 3-5 days, or even 2 weeks at some times. So that really can be used to your advantage to close quickly, offer like a cash offer, get a hard money lender to back you, and they'll also purchase properties sight unseen, which is fantastic. I do a lot of my buying now for foreclosures, and I can't always get inside the house ahead of time. And they also are fine with properties that need work. In fact, that's almost what they would prefer. Ultimately, it all adds up to, if you have a hard money lender in your corner, you can do more deals. Whether this is your first deal or your 100th deal, you can ultimately do more deals. So let me talk a little bit about the hard money lenders that I've had some experience with and give you some of my own recommendations. My first one, I was so lucky that I bumped into these guys. They were formerly known as a Lending Home. They rebranded just a few months ago as Kiavi. These guys have been awesome for my business. I cannot give a lender a higher recommendation than I possibly could. And believe I guess I could get some kind of kickback from these guys, but for referrals. But their business model is so awesome. I can't say enough great things about them. Essentially, what you do, they first qualify you as a person and put you in one of 2 categories. Either you've flipped less than 5 deals or less within the last 24 months, and they put you in a certain kind of category, or you flipped 5 or more in 24 months. I follow that other category. With that, they give you a dedicated relationship manager that can accelerate your deals and make sure that they all stay on track. So I've really appreciated their customer service. They also, they're not about maximizing the paperwork or cover their butts or anything like that, the way that all the government-backed, Fannie Mae-backed loans are. They're about streamlined. So when I fill out my application with them, it's saved and I can reuse it. I actually have 3 different LLCs that I have pre-approved with them, and I can just select that guarantee profile and it reuses all that same documentation. They also, it takes me maybe 5 to 10 minutes to fill out a new deal, get it started with just the basic information that I have, the address of the property, the kind of loan that I want, those kind of things. Just very simple, straightforward things, and it's off and running. You make your initial payment for an appraiser, and it just takes off from there. So again, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate what these. I think I've done 30 deals with these guys in the last 9 months, and I do about 4 or 5 deals a month with them. They don't only offer just fix and flip loans, they also offer rental loans. So they'll package them together if you want to package them. They'll do them onesie, twosie. A little bit different qualifications with the rental loans, but they're absolutely fantastic. Lending One. I've used Lending One on a couple of deals now. They're a little bit more stringent on their requirements, but I have found that they still have the same flexibilities. They'll do package deals. I have not used them on a fix or flip as of yet. I find that Kiavi, with their Streamline approach, has just been my go-to lender, but I have used Lending One on some cash out refis. You'll also see that I've got a cash out refi video coming up soon, so look forward to that. Lending One is more or less great though. They only require a 4-month seasoning on a cash out refi, which is fantastic. So perhaps I've got another video coming up soon that will talk about cash out refis. So maybe you get your sight unseen loan with Kiavi, and then in 4 months time, you've done a little bit of repairs, you've got a tenant in there, you do a cash out refi and you cash out with Lending One. Kiavi does cash out refis as well, so it's not just Lending One. But the short seasoning is fantastic for them. CoreVest, I saw these guys recommended on another site. They are a little bit larger in terms of the deals that they are looking for. Kiavi, for example, will approve you up to a $3 million credit line with them. I'm currently approved for $2 million with them. I'm working to increase that. CoreVest says that they will do, they'll do up to $50 million and interest rates starting at 5%. With terms less than 2 months and 85% loan to cost. So I looked into them and had a few conversations. They didn't work very well for my model, which was they wanted to do a blanket on several things. So they wanted to encumber several properties at once. So that might be a good fit for you. It wasn't necessarily a good fit for my rent-to-own strategy, where I'm trying to set up each and every house to go on its own timeline and need the flexibility of when a house sells to be able to pull it out. That didn't work very well for CoreVest, so I did not end up using them. Vizio Lending is another one that I've seen recommended. I have not used Vizio Lending at this point. They say that they'll give you a maximum loan of $3 million and a term of 5 to 30 years. It seems to me that Lendio is a little bit more focused on rental portfolio. So they're more of like a blanket rental portfolio. Again, that's one of the reasons why I'm not using them, because, or at least at this stage, once I'm at a point where I've got a set number of rentals and I'm good with that holding on for several years at a time, I will consider a blanket loan, but I'm not doing it at this point. Another one that I have started an application with is First Equity. They're out of New Jersey. They don't seem like a very big shop, but so far they're good as far as Lending One, for example, will only do 70% loan to value with regard to a cash out refi. But First Equity is willing to consider 75% loan to value. So sometimes that extra 5% can be worth all the difference. They charge about the same fees. And so it's a little bit Mox Nix, one or the other. Lending One seems like they're a little bit more streamlined to do higher volume than First Equity. I found a lot of good recommendations. There's a few others that are in this particular fitsmallbusiness.com, best hard money lenders. That's where I got the idea to look into CoreVest and Vizio, and they've got a few other recommendations that are out there as well. So those are what I think are some good hard money lenders to look into. I definitely recommend, if you haven't started a profile with Kiavi, you absolutely got to do that. They've just been growing and growing. And I've even had an opportunity to sit down with some of their product development people, very professional. They're really looking to try and maximize their utility to a real estate investor. So again, thanks for watching me today. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe to my channel. Really help me out in keeping good content coming towards you and teaching you more about investing rent to own and making you more passive income. This is Dan Schmidt. We'll talk to you soon.